Today, GoPro is announcing its latest flagship action camera, the Hero13 Black. With interchangeable lenses and a familiar magnetic mounting system, it's been upgraded with some nice quality of life features. But under the hood, resolutions and frame rates are all nearly identical to the older Hero12 Black. And in my experience so far, it's really all about the accessories with the Hero13 Black. So let's dive in and check it out. Hey everybody, I'm Jordan with 9 to 5 Toys. First, let's start with a quick overview of the Hero13 Black. Mainly what sets it apart from the previous generation are a series of a la carte accessories. Expanding on the max lens mod of the Hero12, GoPro is debuting its HB series of lenses. Now these are all lenses that very quickly can pop in and out here. You can interchange them, and they have things like a pack of ND filters, they have a macro lens with an adjustable focus, and even an ultra-wide view. And they all quickly pop on here. You just have to line up the little blue dots and twist the lens on. And it also, with the Hero13, will automatically recognize which lens you put on here and will change the settings that are available to suit the different lens that you put on. And GoPro is announcing the pre-orders today of Hero13 Black, but it won't actually hit the shelves or ship until September 10th. So this is just an overview of what it's looking like. The standalone camera will come in at $400 for the Hero13 Black. There will also be a creator package kit available for $600 that includes a media mod, a light mod, and a grip as well. Their Volta grip, I believe. And in addition to Hero13 Black, GoPro is also announcing the Hero. This is a stripped down $200 version of the action camera, and it's still able to shoot 4K, but doesn't have all of the settings and options that you would experience or expect in the Hero13 Black. So a little bit more stripped down, a little bit more user-friendly, smaller as well, if that's something that you're more interested in. Design-wise, Hero13 Black is similar in dimensions to the older Hero with a few small updates. And that also keeps it smaller and lighter than one of its biggest competitors, in my opinion, the Insta360 Ace Pro. It definitely feels a little bit more compact, even though this is quite a bit bigger than previous generations like the Hero 8. But of course, it does lack the flip-up screen of the Ace Pro from Insta360, which is a nice selling point on that camera. The front has been slightly updated around the microphone area under the lens, and the area around the front screen is also slightly different, but more or less the same. Where things get a little unfortunate is that they have a new battery design on here. So while dimension-wise, it's nearly identical to the Hero 12, the actual design of the battery is a little bit different. Hero 12 batteries will not work in the 13 and vice versa. So that's always a huge bummer, especially when things seem to be basically the same dimensions, that the previous generation won't work on here. So if you are thinking about upgrading your camera, you will have to buy new batteries for this if you need some separate batteries. But one nice feature about that we'll talk about here in a second is a quick charging or constant power option that replaces the battery door. We'll talk about that here in a second. But one of the big updates on the design, and one of the things that I'm most excited about here, is the different mounting options you have on the bottom. Now, you still have the 1/4-20 threads. You can mount it on things like standard tripods or Gorilla Pods. It still has the little flip down fingers, so you can use all the GoPro accessories that you're used to using. But much like the Insta360 Ace Pro, GoPro is now offering a little magnetic mount as well. So this is very similar. There are wings on the sides that can be pressed in and out, and that's what actually snaps in place to secure it. But you just pop it on here, and you have a very secure mount. So for me, what I use this most with is a helmet when I'm riding a motorcycle, and being able to super quickly pop the camera off to take it inside with me or to check my footage, change my settings, that is a huge time saver and a very big quality of life improvement. I'm really glad that they are offering this as an option. Now, it is a separate accessory. It costs $25, but for me, this is basically a must-have for this camera and really increases the usability. All right, so now let's move on to the video. When it comes to resolution and frame rate, Hero13 is nearly identical to Hero 12. They can both go up to 5.3K at 60 FPS, They can also do 4K at 120 FPS. You can slow that down in post for some really smooth shots. Hero 13 does have a couple new tricks up its sleeve though. It has burst slow-mo that can do that 5.3K at 120 FPS, but it can only record for 5 seconds. Of course, when you slow that down, that basically 4x's that time, so it'd be like 20 seconds of footage. It also supports HLG HDR recording and has GoPro log color if you want to have a really flat image that you can then grade in post. Another new trick is the ability to shoot in a 1:1 aspect ratio, and the benefit of this is that in post-production you can either crop it to a vertical or a horizontal. So if you're recording but not sure exactly where you want to use your media and you want to have a little bit more flexibility with it, this mode is great because you can crop it to horizontal for platforms like YouTube for something a little bit longer form, or if you decide that there's not enough there and you just want to do a YouTube short but you don't want to sacrifice any of that footage and that frame, you can just crop it to vertical instead. So for me and how I use these cameras and the platforms that I deliver to, that's another huge benefit here. It kind of increases the possibilities you can do with this footage. All right, so now let's move on to some of the lens mods. Now these lens mods are all separate, but one that, once again, I will use quite a bit are the ND filters. Most of the footage that I capture with the GoPro is on a motorcycle, and so driving during the day when you have really bright sunshine, having an ND filter helps to bring the shutter speed down and give it a more cinematic look. So you get a little bit of motion blur in the corners, which just increases the production quality of it. This ND filter pack is $70, and there are 4 different ones available. It even comes with a little lens cap you can pop on to protect the lens if you want to when you're not recording. And if you're unsure which lens to use, because the GoPro can auto-detect what lens is attached, it will actually meter the light available a little bit and make a suggestion of whether or not you should go up or down as an ND filter to get a better image. So it's nice to have some of those things built in here to kind of help make it a little bit easier to decipher what filter you should be using. And for the most part, I loved the way that this footage, came out. Now, I did notice one odd issue though when using the ND32 filter and recording on a motorcycle, going through an area, going through some trees that were shaded. The sun was kind of behind them. And there was some weird artifacting in the trees. It was almost as if, the image is trying to compress itself and trying to save as much data as possible and not make a huge file. So it was kind of saving some pieces as it was going through frames, but that made the trees kind of feel like they were just jumping around a little bit and not really keeping up with the rest of the frame. Hopefully that comes through in this footage you're seeing here. But then when I was recording later in the day and in other scenarios, I did not see the same issue with this trees. It was just in this one specific scene, specific scenario. So it was really interesting. I'm not sure exactly what was causing that. That being said, I still plan on using these ND filters quite a bit because I do think that when everything's working properly, the footage looks great. Putting in that motion blur is something that I've tried to do in post-production, and it's much more challenging. Usually takes quite a bit more computing power to do something that looks relatively realistic and not obviously put in there in post-production. So if you have a way to do that natively on a camera, that is a huge benefit in my mind. And of course, GoPros are great for POV footage and really wide, field of view. And so they have an ultra wide mod as well. And that takes the viewing space up to 177 degrees. So super wide, great for, mountain biking. Good for motorcycles as well if you're not using the ND filter to try to get some of that motion blur. And so this lens looks similar to the standard lens, but it is, just a little bit bigger and kind of looks like it has a little bit of a more round fisheye look to it. One nice thing about these lenses as well is basically the covers all also act as little lens covers. So you can kind of protect them when you're throwing them in a bag or taking them with you. And this is a $100 option, but for people who do a lot of FPV stuff or, do a lot of high intensity, or if you are doing that 1:1 aspect ratio and really want to maximize the field of view, the ultra wide lens mod is probably going to be something that you're going to want to add to your kit. Now, another lens that they have on here that's really interesting, and I think something brand new for GoPro, is the macro lens mod, which of course, macro, usually, that means it's meant for shooting up close. But what's really unique about it is that it has an adjustable focus ring on here. So you can actually do some little manual focus pulls from objects that are really close to the background behind it. Now, of course, it's not going to be, crazy cinema quality like if you're using a 50 millimeter 1.4 lens or something like that. But for a GoPro, it's actually kind of cool to have the ability to do that. And because some things will be out of focus then, another feature that they have on Hero13 is focus peaking when this lens is installed. And basically that will detect what edges are sharp in your image, and in the monitor will outline those in a color that you can choose, or you can just set it to an automatic setting. So basically that lets you see what is in focus on the little screen back here, so you know that you're not accidentally focusing on the background when you're trying to keep the foreground in focus. And of course that can be turned on and off from the settings in the GoPro Hero. And moving on to audio, for the most part things are what you would expect, and I didn't really see any improvements here with the Hero13 Black. And here's what the built-in microphone sounds like when you're kind of just using it in this vlog kind of style. Of course, you have the screen on front, so you can see all your necessary information, how much card you have left, how much battery you have left, how long you've been recording, and the settings that you're on right now. So this is what the built-in microphone sounds like in a pretty quiet scenario like this inside my studio. Having a tiny pocket-sized camera that can, pick up voice, but then can also be thrown on a motorcycle going down a highway, and trying to get audio that works great in both of those situations and also underwater. Obviously that's something that's difficult to do, to have something that sounds good in every single scenario. That being said, I did ride a motorcycle quite a bit with this, and for the most part it was usable. You would pick up some wind noise, but I still felt like you could hear some of the engine noise and everything else going on in most situations. Where I find really bad wind noise is when I look to the left, past like 30 degrees or something like that, or to the right. The way that the wind hits the microphone on here, it makes it a lot louder and makes the audio harder to use. But once again, that's more specifically my scenarios and how I usually use these cameras. All right, moving on, let's talk about battery life. That's always been an issue with GoPros and action cameras in general. Something small like this, how do you give it big battery life? And the Hero13 does see some marginal improvements. I think they say about a 13% when you're shooting at that max resolution at 5.3K at 60 FPS. So there is a little bit of improvement there, but still you're getting, 79 minutes at the max from what you can get from this camera. But GoPro has a different accessory that I'm pretty excited about that also helps combat that. So they didn't send one out for us to use with these review kits, unfortunately, but it's called the Contacto magnetic door. And basically, you would pop off the door here and it would replace it, and there are some magnetic contacts on the outside, and it comes with a magnetic cable that you can snap on there, and then it has a USB-C plug on the other side that you can connect to your own external USB-C battery or power source. So what's great about this, I've done that even with my Hero 8s. I'll just take the battery door off and plug in a USB-C to the side here. Obviously that has its limitations, as if there was an impact, there's a good chance that the battery could fly out. And GoPro's always carried the media mod, but I've had, mixed experience, and I've had a few failures and issues with the media mod. And so having something that's just a battery door you can slap on here, and it will make sure that the battery is charged. So I think you can even run the camera without a battery in it with that magnetic door on here. Now that is an $80 accessory, so it's unfortunate that it's that expensive. I feel like if it was $50, it'd be a no-brainer. But at the same time, for me and how I use this camera, that is going to be a must-have accessory. When I'm riding a motorcycle, while it's okay to constantly be turning on and off the camera to try to save battery life on longer rides, if I could just have it constantly powered and not have to worry about battery life, that is absolutely the best way to go for me. All right, so overall, wrapping up here, video quality, maybe see some slight improvements. There are some new shooting modes with the 1:1 aspect ratio. You see marginal better battery life, but really for me, it's all about the accessories with GoPro Hero 13 Black. There are some things with this release, albeit that they're, extra purchases you have to make beyond just the camera, but they are must-haves that I'm going to use pretty much every single time I use this camera. The magnetic mount is something that is a huge benefit, and honestly that was one reason that I've been using the Insta360 Ace Pro quite a bit recently, was because it had that quick mount on the bottom here. It's just a much easier way to use the camera and take it on and off from different accessories. So I'm very excited that GoPro has, engineered that. Even though it is very similar to the Insta360, I do think that is a nice update. And that magnetic door, I'm going to order one of those as soon as possible to get it on here, because once again, that just increases the usability of this camera vastly for me. And then the ND filter pack at just $70. It's probably one of the cheapest little lens mods you can get on here, but it's going to be one that I used quite a bit because, once again, scenarios I use them for, this is going to be something that's going to make my footage look a lot better. So while those accessories may not be what everyone is looking for in a new GoPro, and so you don't see the need for upgrading from the Hero 12, if those accessories are something that would make your shooting much more convenient and easier to use, like it would for me, I do think that there is a case to be made for upgrading to the Hero 13 Black. But that's going to do it for this quick look at the Hero 13 Black from GoPro. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. And if you're looking for some other videos to watch, I'll link to some Insta360 cameras over here, as well as our most recent video. And thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up so others can find it easier, and consider subscribing. This is Jordan with 9to5 Toys.